Hey you guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel where I hope you guys stay uplifted, motivate you, and find peace amongst yourself. So if you're interested in these type of videos, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up by leaving a like. Make sure you're commenting down below and make sure you're subscribed by turning on your notification bell if it's not on already, as well as follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter at Ty_guidance and on Facebook at Talks with Ty to stay up to date. All of that information will be down in the description box below. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, you guys. Today is Wednesday, October 6th. It has been 6 days into the new month, so I hope you guys have been practicing daily. I don't know if you guys are into astrology or heard of astrology, but apparently there's some micro braids in Gatorade or whatever it is, you guys. So I have been sleepy and I feel really tired, but I don't know too much about astrology and micro braids and Gatorade. So I hope you guys are enjoying your afternoon and your evening so far. You guys, I've been taking today like very chilly and really relaxing, and that's what I want you guys to do as well, to relax and take your time. Like I said, I'm not one to tell someone how to feel. I suggest and advise information. So it's like, if you don't feel like doing nothing, or if you don't feel like waking up until like 3 o'clock, depending on your schedule and your priorities, you don't have to. Like, excuse me. What we're going to be talking about for today is how do you set priorities, and for the month of overall, just making yourself a priority and educating ourselves with that. Excuse me. So just know that when it comes to living your life, live your life for you, okay? So with that being said, welcome back. How do you set priorities is what we're going to go over and discuss. And for those of you who are new here, one is currently going on 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but as well as something that I like to do on my on my channel is I like to use the dictionary or the source, and I like to break down keywords from the title/topic. And the reason why I do that is to reassure you all and to refresh our mind, as well as understand how we perceive and interpret information. So the two words that I chose for the video for today were the words set and priorities. And every single time that I define these words, I read the definition, not only to refresh your mind, but to have that general understanding, because everybody in life process information differently, and because everybody in their own life is living their life from their point of view, it's good to have a general understanding. Once again, I'm not forcing you guys to believe what I believe or to take the advice or suggest information. This is for people who, choose to listen, because if you're on my channel and you're subscribed, and that means you're choosing to better yourself because that's what you want. I'm not a person who believes in forcing people what to do. Like, if I'm going to be an example, if I'm going to be a representation, yes, I will be the example by being vulnerable and allowing myself to display what has helped me along my way in my journey. But just because I do these things necessarily doesn't mean that you have to do it. If you are able to appreciate what I've said and what I've done, then the more the merrier. But as a healer, it's not my job to make anybody do anything. Like, at the end of the day, I believe in loving everybody equally, and there are some things that I'm going to dive deep and dig into and get in the grit of later this year, and as our channel grows. But until then, until we have questions and answers about me and my background, I want you guys to live your best life. So with that being said, happy Wednesday. We're almost done with this week, you guys. The month of October, it's very interesting. And you guys, I'm just, like I said, drained. Like, I'm just tired, so I'm not forcing myself. I'm taking my time, and I'm allowing each day to be what it is. So the two words that I chose once again are set and priorities. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start the video. How do you set priorities? So the word set is something that you do. So when you set something, you're putting it aside, or you're laying it down, or you're being specified into a place or position. So you're bringing it into a level of awareness by placing it down, putting it down, or laying down. So when you put something down, you're not going to hold it, and you're placing it on a surface or on the ground. And the word put means to move something into a particular position. So the word priorities is a noun. So your priorities are going to be something that is regarded to be maybe more important than others, maybe having a highly concern regarding or treated as something that may be important to you. So the fact or the condition. So the prime concern or your first concern. So how do you set priorities? So first things first, what I realized was helped me along my journey, and what is realized helped me become more productive this year, as well as every single month and day, is to make a list. And on this list, what I suggest and advise is getting some type of notebook, or you can use a tablet, a MacBook, I'm gonna set an AirPod. You can't use AirPod, but you can use a notebook, a tablet, a binder, a dictionary, some type of paper and pen diary, or even go to the library, or even confining verbally. It doesn't matter. I suggest and advise multiple strategies and ways, because once again, everybody's coping style is different. But just making a list for you, writing down your needs and your wants. And it doesn't matter if your needs and wants based off of this month, based off of this year, based off of 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Just getting to know you, because in order to set priorities, you have to be able to reflect and understand what it is that you want to do. So creating a list and determine necessary throughout time what task may be relevant to you or not, as well as making a pros and a cons list about yourself and what you want. So it doesn't matter when you start, because when it comes with healing, a lot of people can be healing from things that happened to them 10 years ago, 10 days ago, 10 months ago, or 10 minutes ago. Everybody is different. On my channel, I'm speaking from a place of my past, my present, and my future. So meaning I'm in the present, but I'm speaking about things that happened in my past, so therefore I can move forward into my future, because I've already accepted and done what people like to say, the shadow work, or the work to come to this conclusion. So now I just have to physically put in the action, record myself, so you guys can understand. So as you guys continue to watch these videos, you guys are able to catch up, or if you have to watch my very first video or whatever video you watch, it doesn't matter when you do it, as long as you're willing. So setting priorities, what I suggest and advise after you come up with this list, is being determined and knowing that it's okay if you're not where you want to be. Like the beginning of this year versus where I am now. For me, what I realized when it came to being structured and just putting in the work, a lot of people like to assume things. A lot of people like to have expectations. A lot of people like to label, and that's something that I disagree with. Like, I don't like people who try to take the time to figure me out if you can just get to know me. Like, don't assume anything about me. Do not have any expectations of me, because that's not true. Like, a lot of people like to form their own opinions and etc., and they don't know nothing about you, and they're disappointed. So being comfortable with who you are and where you are. Like, I knew 3 years ago, when I started my channel. I started my channel 2 years ago, but it wasn't until like 3 years ago that I realized that I needed to move forward with my life. And it wasn't until this year that I was more, like, I guess, serious about it, because I've been at an understanding, like, just because you don't do something or just because you don't say something doesn't mean you don't know. So don't overwhelm yourself. Be willing to compromise. Understand that you want to be productive, and access your most productive days throughout the week, and learning to take your time. So being patient, planning ahead, recognizing, prioritizing as a skill set and a mindset, because it's a choice. Like, it's a choice for me to come on here and do what I do. It's a choice for you guys to watch. It's a choice for you to understand what has helped you along your journey and how you want to move forward, and realizing that you're only one person. So, like, not being so hard on yourself, not beating yourself up, like, realizing that it's okay. Like, it took me 3 years to not physically, to mentally accept that my father passed away, and that he won't be in my life. Like, physically I understood, because I haven't seen him since, but like mentally, and like understanding how trauma affects you. Like, everybody suffers in life, and everybody's problems and where they're suffering is going to come based off of your environment and geographically. So just reflecting and pacing yourself, because there's no right or wrong way to heal, and everyone's process things differently. Like, once again, I'm speaking from a higher self, a higher place of mind, so like the future, but because I'm in the present, I'm speaking about my past. Like, everybody is different. So like, another thing I'm going to suggest and advise when it comes to setting your priorities, like, don't compare yourself to other people. That is a pet peeve of mine, you guys. Like, for anybody who I, care about, anybody who's in my life that I love and appreciate, if you're my friend or associate or coworker, like, I'm gonna let you know that you're delusional. And I'm the type of friend who is honest but is respectful. Like, just because somebody says something bluntly, their tone and how they say it also matters. Like, I'm not yelling at you, I'm not cursing at you, but I'm gonna let you know in a calm manner that it is very delusional for you to compare yourself to look like somebody that you're not, to even compare your accomplishments. A lot of people compare themselves when they're depressed and have anxiety to somebody who is very successful, and it's like, it's not fair to you to do that. And because I care, I'm going to tell you what I believe that I wouldn't want to do for myself as well as you, because there are some people who like to just be rude and disrespectful, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm blunt. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm a blunt person or I'm brutally honest. Like, brutally honest is being brutally honest. Like, I am a direct person, so I would say directly what is on my mind, but I'm going to be mindful of how I say it and how you may interpret it. So because I'm a direct individual, like, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm a left or right or straight type of person. Like, don't compare yourself to other people, because when you're setting your priorities have to be realistic based off of you. So if you know someone who's able to accomplish things left and right, or even myself, like, if you're not where I'm at, why do you think you will be able to be in the same position? And not just that, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to feel upset, you're gonna feel depressed. And like I said, the reason why I think it's very delusional, because it's just like, you'll drive yourself insane. So when it comes to setting your priorities, know that, you know, your priorities is going to be something that you feel like is important, or something that you have to do or deal with or to be done, you know, while, you know, you're able to represent yourself and take care of yourself. And knowing how your priorities make you feel, like, it's not a must and need for everybody to have the same, you know, priorities to require to do with something that may be more important than someone else or something else. But understanding, like, how your priorities are going to affect you, and everyone's priorities in life are different, because everyone's priorities are based off of the condition of being regarded to something that, you know, may be highly valued, or your priorities may be more regarded compared to other people or persons, situations, and environment. So just reflecting. So how do you set priorities? Reflect, take your time, make a list, make a pros and a cons list, make a do's and a don'ts, make a needs and a wants, as well as surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Like, I'm very grateful that I've outgrown every single friendship that I have. So I don't have any harm or negative energy towards nobody, but anybody that I haven't spoken to in the last couple of months, I don't plan on speaking to for the rest of this year as well as next year. I'm making room for new people who are meant to be in my life to move forward, because how I set my priorities, like what my focus are, what my goals are compared to the people I know, and knowing that people in your life are not going to be permanent. So if someone does stay in your life, it's because you're building. Like, in order to have a successful relationship, what I realized for me is to build and not to force. So it's just like aligning yourself, removing yourself, seeing where you guys lack and seeing where you guys have things in common, and realizing if you want to compromise and if you want to work together. Because if not, what I would suggest and advise, not forcing yourself to stay in any relationship, rather it's a job, professionalism, boyfriend or girlfriend, intimate, even family. Like, realizing that it's okay that, you know, who you used to know or who you used to be is not who you are. Like, who I was at the end of last year to who I am now, I'm not going to say that I'm not the same person, but I have grown every single day, because my perspective and my priorities and the people that I used to know, like my peers, once again, I don't have any negative energy towards anybody, because I don't hate on anybody. I don't care about anybody that much to value them, because I know that I have my own life that are not, you know, who's not helping me, to realize that I need to surround myself with people who are going to be, you know, helpful of me, who are going to understand my priorities. And if you're not able to accept that, I'm going to remove myself, because it's not fair to you or to me or anybody to have into your life who is not willing to understand or to grow or to let you, you know, deal with what you're going through, because everybody copes and, you know, heals and handles depression and anxiety excuse me, differently, as well as people, you know, who speak, you know, badly about you. Like, that's one thing, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very grateful for. And I guess it's like a bonus for me. I'm starting to realize I've never let outside noise validate me, because ever since a little child, I always knew who I was. So that was never my issue. My issue was just realizing that it's totally okay for me to just learn to accept that everyone does not think like me, and that, you know, the people that I used to know, that I don't need to surround myself with them just to have low like satisfaction. Like, I'm worthy and I'm deserving of any relationship of people who, you know, have like minds. And I know there are people who have like minds, or people who have done the things that I want to do, because there are people that I, you know, look up to or I follow on YouTube or whatever it is. So growing, knowing that when it comes to your priorities, they could be personal, they may not be personal. Like, don't do things because somebody has to tell you to do something. And that's what I've realized. Like, a lot of people I know, they only do things because somebody else is doing it, or because somebody else made them feel some type of way. And it's nothing wrong with understanding and being aware of that, but understand how the longevity is going to affect you. Like, if you do not have genuine intentions, or you're not sincere, or if you really don't value that, understand, how it makes you feel. And like, if you don't want to harm yourself, or cause any more depression or more anxiety to yourself, taking the time to reflect and allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to learn, because you can either learn from your decisions and what you're going through in your life, or you're going to continue to make the same decisions to where you may not continue to want to grow or move forward, because everybody in life doesn't have the same age expectancy. Like, there's no age expectancy to life. People could be 5, 6, 110, 20, 30 years old and live as long as they need to, or some people pass away at 5, 6, 3 months, 120, 30 years old. So knowing there's no right or wrong way to set your priorities, but for me, what I realized and what has helped me along my way is to be willing to compromise and to understand that when you are changing yourself. And I think that's what we're going to be talking about for the month of November. I almost said October. November and October. For November, I realized understanding how that's going to affect you. So like, if you're doing something that you never did before, it's going to be different. So like, understanding that. So for example, if you used to eat out every single day and you wanted to start eating healthy, like, you may have withdrawals, or you may feel like, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing, because you're doing something you never done. So being exposed and understanding how, in order to receive, you have to remove something previously, or in order to have something new in your life, you have to get rid of your old. And that's a process in itself. And that's something that I realized this whole year, is realizing that everything that I'm letting go, everything that I'm shedding, I'm making new for. So what I've been going through, how I've been feeling, it's different because I've been known and programmed, just like everybody else in the world, to think or believe or have certain values, and understanding, what works for me and what works best for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, are excited for the rest of this month. I don't know what the weather is like for you guys, but make sure you guys are drinking your water. I need to go ahead and drink some water as well as practicing daily, taking care of ourselves, you guys. I am trying to go ahead and make sure that I have my doctor's appointment set. For those of you who are new here, I have my kidneys are not the best right now. That's why my skin has discoloration. But learning to accept how you look, learning to make priorities. So my priorities that I have is, that I wrote for myself before the end of this year, is that I have to go ahead and go to the doctors. Okay, I need to get my kidneys checked. Okay, I have a lot of things that I have to do. I need to go ahead and start looking at doctors. I have to go ahead and get surgery. I have scoliosis, so I have to get neck and spine surgery. I have to get knee surgery. Like, making my priorities for you and doing what works for you, and taking your time. Take your time. Like I said, if you're tired, take breaks. If you feel good, do good. When you look good, you feel good. Take your time and never let anybody invalidate your feelings. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, day, or morning.